roses, still just $10. Dwarf ever-blooming red ruffle azaleas, get 6 for $19.99. And get a huge bag of Fertilome fertilizer for your lawn, regularly $19.99, just $6.99. Come and get them this week at Bob Wine's Camellia Garden, Southeast 38th Street, Ocala. Open 9 to 5 and growing greener with Ocala since 1952.
All right, 23 minutes before 10 o'clock. Thank you for tuning in, and we do have some more of the CDs. We'll be giving them away later on, right, from the Blue Jays band. Whoa, okay, what was that? Okay. All right, 78 degrees here at the Paddock Mall. Looks pretty nice out there, and we've got a fun topic that I wanted to talk about right now. It is places to go in the United States if you want to view wildlife.
Oh, nice.
The door's wide open. Anyway, so this is kind of a fun topic only because, well, it is, after all, the 9th day of June. It is that time of year when a lot of people say, let's go someplace. Where do you want to go? I would imagine that on the 9th day of June, you probably already have in your mind where you're probably going to go for your road trip this summer if you're going on a road trip. But if not, or maybe this could be for a future reference, these are some places you can go, and there's at least one in Florida that are recommended for certain types of wildlife. Mm-hmm. Now, the first one I'm going to tell you is about coyotes.
Oh, that's my backyard.
Robin has coyotes in her neighborhood.
Yes, we do.
They hate them in her neighborhood.
Well, yeah, they might get the dog.
Because they've killed at least one dog over there, right?
Yeah, they did.
However, if you want to see coyotes in their natural habitat, where the only thing they're killing are things in their natural habitat, and you know coyotes get a bad rap. I mean, all carnivorous animals eat other animals.
Yeah.
That's the very definition of a carnivorous animal. So, you know, you really can't be too hard on them. The fact that there's puppy dogs that become prey, it's not a good thing.
Yeah.
But you can't blame the coyotes. It's the way God made them, right?
No, that's right. You can't blame them.
Anyway, the Rocky Mountain National Park in Colorado is considered one of the best places if you want to go look at, photograph coyotes.
Oh, wow.
Now,
awesome.
I want to tell you a story about Albuquerque, New Mexico. Okay?
Okay.
I knew a guy. He was an older man, and by older I mean in his upper 80s. And he was talking to me one time about having lived for a few years in Albuquerque, New Mexico. Mm-hmm. And he lived, I guess you would say, in the valley. In other words, the mountains were all around him.
Okay.
And he knew that a lot of his friends would hunt in those mountains for deer. And he decided he wanted to hunt, but he wanted to do it with a bow and arrow.
Oh, okay.
All right. So he learned how to use a bow and arrow, and his wife was very much against him going up and killing an animal. But he said, "Come on, just let me do it once. I promise. Once I get my first deer, I will never, ever, ever do it again."
Okay.
Okay. So every deer hunting season, and I don't know if there was a special season for the bow and arrow or not, but anyway, he would go up once a year. And he would camp in the mountains, and he would do whatever he needed to do to find the deer, and then take a shot at them, and then he'd come back. Uh-huh. So for 2 years, he went and didn't get a single deer. But he did go through the process. He set up his tent. He did all the things that a hunter would normally do. It's just that he didn't, and I think he shot at some but missed.
Oh, okay.
With a bow and arrow. Mm-hmm. Okay. The third year, he got his deer.
Oh, wow.
The third year, he was successful in his quest to hit a deer. Mm-hmm. So he comes back home with the deer and has it butchered or whatever, and now he's got meat in his freezer and gives it to his friends, and his wife says, "Okay, you promised you wouldn't do this again." Well, there was one problem.
Yeah.
He fell in love with the whole idea of hunting.
Oh,
but
wow.
He did promise his wife, and he was a man of integrity, and he decided he was going to honor his promise, and he rethought the promise from 3 years earlier. Mm-hmm. And he said, "I didn't promise that I wouldn't go. I just promised that I wouldn't kill another deer."
Yeah.
So she, of course, wanted to know, "What are you trying to tell me?" So he said, "I want to take a camera."
Oh.
And so he would go back to the mountains around Albuquerque, and he would take, instead of a bow and arrow, he would take a camera. And I have no idea at what length he went to invest in cameras and camera lenses and other supplies. But he had, and I didn't see them all, but he had stacks and stacks of these boxes of the carousel, the Kodak carousel. Remember the slide projectors? I don't know if they're still around or not.
Oh, yeah.
But the Kodak carousel slides, they would put the slides into these carousels. I don't know how many slides were in each carousel, but he had... I probably am not exaggerating by saying hundreds. He probably had hundreds of these boxes of carousels, and he pointed to them, and he said every one of those boxes is filled with slides of the wildlife that I was able to photograph during those trips. And he went for years and years. So it wasn't just one more year. He went for quite a few years before somehow deciding to retire to Florida, which is, I met him here.
I bet he found some unique things that he...
I bet he did.
Yeah. The best of the best.
But anyway, so getting back to the recommended places to go for certain wildlife, coyotes. The perfect spot, though the coyote can be spotted throughout the Rocky Mountain National Park in Colorado, coyotes appear to prefer open meadows and pine woodlands.
Yeah, there you go. Pine trees in my neighborhood.
In fact, there's an area there called Coyote Valley Trail.
Oh.
It's an easy, handicap-accessible 1-mile loop around the Colorado River and the Camunichi Valley. And those who go to look for the coyotes say it's a very, very likely place to see coyotes.
But they won't hurt you, right? I mean, will they attack you?
Coyotes are roughly the size of dogs, so you may be tempted to get close, but don't. Rangers have been forced to kill coyotes that have displayed threatening behavior after taking food from humans. So they're not nice animals.
No.
But if you're careful and you want to go see them, there's a photo tip here. While throughout the day, the coyotes are best spotted early in the morning or around sunset, which, by the way, is also a perfect time for photography.
Yeah, exactly. Beautiful backgrounds.
All right. You don't want to see coyotes? How about elephant seals?
Oh, okay.
If you go to Channel Islands National Park in California, you can see the largest colonies of elephant seals right there.
Oh, wow.
The northern elephant seal is one of 4 types of fin-footed mammals. They call them pinnipeds. Pinnipeds.
Oh, pinnipeds. That's cute.
Commonly found in southern California. Others include harbor seals, northern fur seals, and California sea lions. The 5 isolated islands that make up this national park, the Channel Islands National Park, are home to one of the largest gatherings of these mammals on the planet. Over 50,000 northern elephant seals alone breeding each year.
Wow. That must be something to see.
The perfect spot, you can find the northern elephant seals on the beaches of Santa Rosa and San Miguel Islands. But the real motherlode seal place is you have to hike to Point Bennett on the western tip of San Miguel Island. It's about a 15-mile hike, round trip. It's about 7.5 miles each way.
Wow. That's pretty awesome. It's worth it.
As you come over the point's rise about halfway through, you'll spot thousands of honking elephant seals camped out on the beach. And they say that the problem for photographers is the glare from the water and the glare from the glistening wet bodies of the animals themselves.
Gosh.
So they say try to focus on a darker part of the scene to prevent overexposure and use a filter.
Cool.
You would know more about that than me, Rob.
You bought me one of those filters.
The next place to go if you're looking to see some wildlife out there on your day trip, on your road trip, French angelfish.
Oh.
French angelfish. Now this is in the Virgin Islands National Park, St. John in the Virgin Islands.
Okay.
These are stunning, multicolored angelfish. They swim in pairs along the park's shallow reef trails.
Oh, gosh.
Now that you would need an underwater camera, right?
I would think so.
The gold scale, flecked black body, white chin, bright yellow iris, and blue face. The French angelfish stands out in a crowd. Native to the western Atlantic, the Gulf of Mexico, and the Caribbean, the fish tend to hang out in pairs, usually in the shallow reefs, and they're among the more common residents of the Virgin Islands National Park waters.
Oh, my gosh.
Thank you, Jonathan.
Oh, thank
Look
you
at that. He
so
signed
much,
his CD.
Jonathan.
Blue Jays Band.
Thank you, Jared. That's
The other
wonderful.
people want it signed, tell them to come tonight.
Oh yeah, go to
Okay.
the CD signing, the debut party, right?
The CD release party
CD release
tomorrow
party.
night, 8:00, Marion Theater.
And they'll sign your CDs.
Thank you.
Thank you, guys. Anyway, so the perfect thing, obviously, you're going to go snorkeling to see these things, right?
Yes.
The self-guided trail in Trunk Bay, one of the best places to see these French angelfish with all the colors on them.
Wow.
And obviously, you're going to need an underwater camera for that one.
Oh, certainly. But this, I bet you they are outstandingly gorgeous.
There are two places if you want to see black bears.
Oh, okay.
One, well, they're both in Tennessee. They're both in the Great Smoky Mountain National Park, which covers more than one state. So Tennessee and North Carolina are the two states. They are the largest protected habitat in the eastern U.S. That right there, straddling the border between Tennessee and North Carolina, this massive mountain and forest-filled national park houses the largest protected American black bear habitat in the eastern United States.
Oh, wow.
The perfect spot to view these bears is in or around the edges of the forests. Many of them hang around an area called Cades Cove. There's an 11-mile loop road right there. You can actually drive to some spots and then walk the rest of the way.
Wow. My children were like 4 and 6, and we went up there on a vacation, and we stopped at a rest area. Well, there was this black bear there, and people were actually walking down the hill to try to feed it. It's like, no, we are not getting close to that one. We will stay, far away.
Yeah,
'cause-
right.
Well, it was, a
They look
smaller
cuddly,
bear,
but they're dangerous,
yeah,
right?
exactly. So have to respect the wildlife.
It is illegal to willfully approach within 150 feet a black bear. How about that?
There you go. See that?
So not only is it dangerous, but it's illegal. So, and they ask you that you have something to steady your camera. A unipod is common. A unipod. Or a tripod, I would think. All right, here in Florida, what do you think is the wildlife that they're recommending?
The alligator.
Alligator and crocodiles.
Oh,
As long as I've lived in Florida, I did not know we had crocodiles in the Everglades.
me neither.
According to
Gosh.
this, alligators and crocodiles are viewable at the Everglades National Park, the only area in the world where alligators and crocodiles coexist.
Really?
Never knew that.
I didn't either. I
The
hope they don't migrate up here.
the subtropical wetlands that make up the Everglades are the only environment in the world where gators and crocodiles live together in harmony. So you'll need to learn how to tell them apart if you want to know.
Okay.
It's easy though, isn't it easy?
Yeah, it's supposed to be easy.
Well, we've seen them. The crocodile
Yeah.
has definitely a different tooth thing going on,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah, it does. It's different.
It's a
than the
different looking
alligator.
tooth. The perfect spot if you're going to drive down to the Everglades to see alligators and crocodiles. The perfect spot to see the alligators. First of all, you don't have to go there if you want to see them. You can go to Silver Springs.
Yeah.
You go to Paynes Prairie. That lake in Paynes Prairie usually has gobs of alligators.
Yeah, you can just, just start walking toward the edge and you'll see their little heads bob up.
Oh yeah.
They're staring at you.
If you go tubing down the Rainbow River, keep your eyes open because there are alligators on the banks.
Yeah.
I have never been down the Rainbow River and not seen an alligator, but they're usually, I've never been bit by one, thank
Yeah.
God. But
Yeah, and they live in harmony with the otters there in the rainbow.
they live in harmony with the otters. Now
So
the
they're
otter
okay.
might be food once in a while. We don't know that there's not.
That's true, but we still see the otters.
There are otters there too. Otters and gators.
Yeah.
Yeah. The perfect spot is, let's see, particularly in the winter, or along the Anhinga Trail in the Royal Palm section of the Everglades National Park. The
We have to go there with our cameras.
Anhinga Trail, along the Shark Valley Loop of the Tamiami Trail.
Shark Valley Loop.
Plenty of crocodiles hang out in the saltwater of the Flamingo area, located near Florida Bay at the southern extreme of the park.
Wow.
So there you go.
We got to go there with our cameras. That would be fun.
It says, don't feed or poke the alligators.
No.
We saw one in Silver Springs just a week and a half ago.
Yeah, the park ranger poked him in back.
Mountain lions. You want to go see mountain lions?
Okay.
I have here, and we're going over, by the way, if you're just tuning in, the best places in the United States for viewing wildlife. The mountain lions are at the Big Bend National Park in Texas. The mighty solitary mountain lion is the king of the Texas desert.
Oh, wow.
The majestic mountain lion, also known as a cougar, a panther, or a puma.
Oh.
I never knew this.
I thought they were all separate.
Is different from its African cousins in that it lacks a furry mane, and it also does not have a loud roar. But this predator is no slouch. In the desert and mountain park in southwest Texas, along the Rio Grande, the mountain lion is the definite lord of the manor. A top predator. It eats the deer that live there. It eats the javelina, whatever that is. And it eats other vegetarian herbivores.
Oh, yeah. Well, we've heard of joggers being attacked by
Really?
mountain lions. Yeah.
Mountain lions roam throughout the park, including the Chihuahuan Desert.
A bunch of chihuahuas running out there.
And the Chisos Mountains, where they sometimes follow hiking trails. Each year, there are about 150 sightings of the mountain lions,
Yes.
most of which occur along the roadways and sometimes the hiking trails. At dawn or dusk, mountain lion sightings are rarer than sightings of the other animals on the list. If you do see one, you'll have to snap fast, bring a high-resolution autofocus point and shoot. You won't have time to be fumbling with your lenses.
Yeah, there you go. There you go.
All right, in the state of Washington, in Olympic National Park, a good place to see Roosevelt elk.
Oh,
Roosevelt elk.
I've not heard of Roosevelt elk.
The largest unmanaged herd of Roosevelt elk roam in the Olympic National Park in Washington. Named for Theodore Roosevelt, the largest of the North American elk subspecies can be identified by its dark brown head and pale brown body. Males also have light brown antlers.
Oh, gosh.
President Roosevelt actually had a hand in creating Mount Olympus National Monument in 1909 to protect the elk living in Washington's Olympic Peninsula.
Wow.
Head on down to the lowland Hoh Rain Forest. The Hoh Rain Forest on the western side of the park, where the elk like to graze for ferns, shrubs, and other grasses.
Okay.
Anyway. Usually you can find a herd of about 20 of them there.
Gosh, that must be awesome to see that.
In South Dakota, if you're looking for some wildlife, you can see the pronghorn.
Oh.
The indigenous pronghorn wander the South Dakota plains at Wind Cave National Park.
Wow.
Below ground, Wind Cave National Park shelters the 5th longest cave system in the world.
Oh, my
with more than
gosh.
136 miles of underground passages that have actually been mapped. Above these maze-like formations is a rich prairie ecosystem that plays home to the pronghorn.
And now what are they? I don't know.
It's a
what
type of an
they are.
antelope. I looked that up earlier.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I didn't know
Okay.
either. It was labeled endangered in the 1920s. They can run as much as 60 miles an hour.
Wow.
The fastest land mammal in North America is the pronghorn.
Oh, gosh. Isn't that something?
You can spot them all over the park, but one of the easiest places to find them is in the area immediately around the Elk Mountain Campground.
Oh, okay.
You probably won't even have to go far from where you're camping to see them.
Gosh. That
Wow.
sounds beautiful.
The next one is also in South Dakota, and it is prairie dogs.
Oh, okay.
Prairie dogs are something to see. Now, we saw the prairie dogs in Busch Gardens.
Yes.
They have a prairie dog display there, well, and they're real prairie dogs.
Yeah, they're cute.
And there's one standing up, keeping a lookout while the others are doing their work.
Yeah.
And why they're so busy, I don't know. But they're busy digging holes and doing whatever they do.
Yeah.
Now, they look. The guard is standing up, looking on his hind legs, just stretching his face up, and he looks right at all of us tourists as if we're not even there.
Yeah.
doesn't even notice. So
Right.
when I was there with you and Shannon, when we went to see the Goo Goo Dolls,
Yes.
I decided that it would be fun if you two danced, and I videotaped it. And sure enough, when you two started dancing, the thing made the alert,
Yeah.
and they all scrambled.
Yeah, that was funny.
They all went into hiding. Anyway, if you want to see them in the wild, the Badlands area, the Badlands National Park, is a good place to go. It's also, by the way, one of the most fossil-rich spots on the planet. So
Oh my gosh.
you might actually find, if you look hard enough, the rock formation fossils. They have rhinoceroses that used to live there that you might find some fossils.
Oh gosh.
Camels have left fossils there, even dinosaurs.
Really?
Whether you'll find one is unlikely, but they are there. And prairie dogs are the main reason to go there. Go around the Loop Road by Sage Creek Rim Road.
That is so cool.
If you need to know that, I'll repeat it
I
over the
do
phone.
need to know that. That is cool.
Bison. You want to see some bison? You can go to the villages.
That's right. You can.
Well, they used to be. I don't know if they're still there or not.
Yeah.
Let's see. Considered the largest land mammal in the United States, the American bison, also called the American buffalo, typically weighs between 1,000 and 1,800 pounds. Some of the males even go over 2,000 pounds.
Wow.
The area now housing Yellowstone National Park is the only place in the continental U.S. where bison have continually lived since prehistoric times.
Oh my gosh. So they never migrated or anything. They just stayed right there.
We got them in the villages.
Yeah, that's right. That's right. They're
Bison
there.
are often on the move and are seen in different areas of the park during different seasons since they eat mostly grass. Look for the fields where they might be eating that grass. A couple of named places are the Hayden Valley, the Fire Hole, and the Gibbon Meadow.
Oh
some
my
of
gosh.
some of the places you can find some of the bison. The bald eagle.
Oh.
You can see the bald eagle if you go to St. John's River. I've seen them there.
Yeah.
But the best place in America, according to this, is in Alaska at Denali National Park.
Oh,
Both
okay.
the bald and the golden eagles soar through Alaska's famous Denali Park. The perfect spot is the Alaska Range, and the
gosh.
best time is mid-March through September.
Oh, okay. Or Homosassa Springs if you're in that area.
You can see them over there too.
Yeah.
If you go to Montana at Glacier National Park, you can see wild mountain goats.
Oh gosh.
And if you go to Kentucky, I have to wrap it up because we're running out of time.
Oh, okay.
You can see in Mammoth Cave National Park, you can see bats.
Oh wow.
So those are the best places in the United States for wildlife viewing. If you found it interesting, then you're like me. You're living vicariously through the things you read and hear about.
Yeah, it's fascinating stuff.
All right, we've got to move forward. Fox News is coming up in just a little bit, and thank you, and we'll be back. Matt Gibbs is coming in, right, to answer our car
he's
questions.
here.
He's here. All right, we'll be right back. This is The Source, WOCA.
Fox News Radio, I'm Pat O'Neill. Las Vegas police still trying to determine why a man and a woman shot and killed two cops in a pizza